Hi, welcome to Wednesday. Strange seeing me on a Wednesday and seeing the White Gecko live at 1 o'clock. We are doing it early this today because Sarah will be traveling tonight, and I have yoga. So I'm trying really hard to go to every yoga. So we are not available at 7 o'clock tonight. So we're doing the 1 o'clock, so you won't miss out. Tomorrow, Sarah is on where's she? Sewing Street. So there won't be one at lunchtime tomorrow either. So hi, Anne. Has your chair arrived? Hi, Liz. How are you doing? I forgot to ask. I will remember. Okay, I will ask Sarah when I've finished. Hopefully, I'll remember. What are we doing today? We're doing a stacked Dresden. Oh, look, you can't see which way to. If I go over here, look. So this is what we're making. All right. So we are forever trying to find extra things for you to do with our 9-degree ruler. Okay, and I saw this thing come up on Reels, and I thought, oh, I really like that. It really appealed. Every time I saw it, it really appealed. So I thought I'll give it a go. However, her degree must be a lot bigger than a 9-degree because I've got 40 of these. You have to make 40 stacks. However, they don't take very long and they look really beautiful and they look like you've done a lot of work and you don't really. So anyway, we are going to work on that. So let's get rid of that pop-up. So hiya, Kate, how are you doing? And Leslie's here. Marilyn, how are you? I didn't get to say goodbye, just a yell yesterday. Sorry about that. Are you sitting in it now, Anne? Are you all reclined with your feet up and watching us? Hi, Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane. Hiya, Jenny. How are you? I'm Sarah Jane. And Carol, it's lovely to see you all. So we're going to get on with it because Happy is over there and she's a teenager, so her stomach will be rumbling, and I forgot to send her to get lunch at 12. So I promised I wouldn't be long, and I've got the post as well. So right, where are we? What are we doing? Who am I? There. Right. So you need to have two versions, two colorways. So these were in my stash. Now I love a batik. I'm not keen on a grunge. I love sewing with the grunge, but a lot of the grunges I take them or leave them. You can see. But this one was just the right shade. They just went together so well. So anyway, you're going to need two. If you have a look at my degree ruler, you need 2 at 11. So, well, you're going to need 40 to make the circle. You need 40 at 11 of the green or the plain, 40 at 11 of the patterned. Okay, then you're going to need 40. They don't take that long to cut. If you stack your fabric so it's four deep. Yeah, no, you need 20 of these and 20 of those. You don't need 40. I'm thinking I only did 5 and it was by 4. That only comes to 20. Where am I getting the other bits from? You need 20 of each of these. Okay, not 40. You need 40 in total. Right, these are 7-inch. No, they're not. They're 7.5 inch. Okay, I've done those at 7.5 inch. You can change your things up to 16 inch if you want it bigger, but this one measures 27.5 inches across. So from the valley, not the point from the valley. So you're not going to want them that much bigger. Yeah, 7.5, and then you want 20 each of the 4-inch. Okay, now when I sat down and thought, okay, so what was she using? What angle was she using? Then I had to learn how to use a protractor again. So I drew out the sizes that we were given, and it was 10 centimeters that way, 1.5 centimeters that way, and then 29.5, I think it was, that way. So I worked it out, and there's my angle. And I meant to bring the protractor with me so that I could show you and re-educate everybody on how to use a protractor, because it's been a long time since I used one. And I think that's a 20-inch. However, it looks stonking. I think it's stunning. I really, really love it. So, where are we? So, hi, Anne. First time here. Well, it's nice to meet you. Come on in. Right. So, what do we do for a Dresden? Sorry, I'm waffling now. What do we do for a Dresden? You're going to take your each of your blades, and you're going to have them right sides towards you, and you're going to fold them right sides together like that. And we're just going to sew 1/4 inch across there. Okay, that's it to begin with, but you're going to do them on all of them. Now you can see I've got a bit of salvage here, so on the bottom of here, because it only just fit, so at the sizes that I wanted, but you lose all that in the folding. Okay, so let's go to there, and then we're going over to the machine, and we want 1/4 inch. Now I did find that my you have to be careful when you're sewing, not so much this bit, but when you're sewing them together, they need to be pretty darn close, because on your seam allowance, because I found that I had to go back in and shorten some of the seam allowances of sewing them together, because my seam allowance, I'm not brilliant at them, and I found that I needed to lose a little bit of circumference when I was, I needed the circumference, the bit in the middle wasn't laying quite as flat as I'd like, so I just took my seam allowances in a little bit. There we go. So, hi Jane, how are you? And who else is there? Claire, Nori, Kate, how are you doing? There we go. So we are sewing up these Dresdens, and then I'll show you how to turn them out. So you're going to do, 120 of these in various sizes. However, it really didn't take that long when you were chain piecing them. So it is worth doing. It really is worth doing. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we're just chopping these off. So Sarah has been doing her demos from home. Now I suppose you could chop your corner off here, but I didn't worry about it. And I did use, to get a really fine point, I used a doll needle on on the blunt end, because I got a lovely, lovely, lovely sharp point then. But if you run it up the fold, where are we? Yeah. If you run it up the fold so that it's on one side of the seam, and then when you run it up the other side of the fold, you've got to do this gently, otherwise you're going to go straight through. You want to go on the other side of that seam, which doesn't want me to, and you can get a really nice sharp point then. Okay, so we're going to go along and do all of these, because these are the last two pieces to go into my table runner. So just pushing out these points, and then we'll iron them. So I thought I'd lost one then. This fabric was beautiful. It was all sort of sunset colours. I mean, I know that I can wax really lyrical about batiks anyway, but yeah, I was most delighted with them all. One of the things I like about grunge is it doesn't fray as much as, you know, you can get some fabrics start to fray as you're using them, but grunge is quite a firm weave and doesn't fray as much. Same as batiks. I mean, you can almost leave them raw. Okay, so what do we do to iron them? So we're going to make sure that you've got a midline fold, just where you're going to put your point. You're going to line your point up. Now you can I was going to say you can iron out your seam open, but you can't really. I don't think you'd be able to get in there. So you're going to just iron in. Now best press these so they stay nice and stiff. So you're going to make sure that you've got a midline by there, so that you can line your seam up with it. And then you're just going to, it doesn't matter if this line here is not perfectly straight, because you're not going to see that. So we're going to go in here, line that up like that. There you go. Just before I came on air, I suddenly heard Sarah go, ow! So I don't know what she did. I think she went to put the recycling out and the lid's probably fallen on her head. We've just been to no, we haven't been to Harrogate. She's going next. We went to Newark, and it was a lovely little show. We met Angela Simpson. I think that's the first time we've met her in person, so that was lovely. You just booked onto one of the new workshops. Oh, that's good. That's good. Hi, Marlene. I'm Melba. How are you doing? Yes, have a look at the new workshops. There's a couple going on. We've got one. If you've got friends who've ever wanted to, begin, we've got a fairly beginner friendly. I mean, it looks a stunning quilt when it's done, the all squared up. But it is beginner friendly if you wanted to come and have a go at quilting. Right, so we've done our 9 blades. Okay, so we start with the big ones. So yeah, Newark was lovely, lovely thing, but I managed to bruise my toe. We nearly managed to do my nail in it once again, but we managed to miss the nail. I've got a lovely bruise on my toe. and we nearly brained each other with wooden poles. So yeah, it was quite a accident prone weekend. Right, so you can see what I've done here. I have stacked, there we go, I have stacked alternating, okay, which if you looked at the doodah, what's it, at the beginning, you would have seen how I'd done it. So I'm going to pin each of these. Now, you can, if you're a person that worries about it moving and everything, I think only one of them really should be unpicked and redone on the one that I've got. Then you can sew down here along the bottom and back up to there at 1/8 of an inch, really tiny, which will then hold them together. But as we're all lazy, I've just pinned them. Okay, so once you've done all of this, see, it didn't take that long at all, and you wouldn't be yakking and trying to think what you're saying. Once you've got 40 of these set up like that, then what you're going to do is you're going to sew them in pairs. Now I need to make sure that I put them the right way round. Okay, so if we go to there, you can see here, I need to get them to go in this gap here. So my plain blade is on my right and that one's on the left, facing that way. So that is correct. So hopefully that's correct. So I need to sew down this side. Okay. When I sewed them together in the pairs, I went from the short end to the bottom end to the top end. And then when I sewed the pairs together, I went from the top end to the bottom end to try and keep them fairly even. So do we keep these videos? Yes, we do. They'll be on Facebook for a little while, but they are on YouTube and they stay on YouTube forever. So in 40 years' time, you'll be able to sit and watch us still warbling on about stuff that was going on today. So I'm making sure all of these are together. I'm doing a 1/4 inch all the way up. Make sure it's all together. And go up here, and then I'm going to, once I get onto the folded bit, I'm going to go back a couple of stitches and then take it forward. There we go. So there we have, where are we? You are so good. So welcome, Anne. You've got a real treat in store for you. You'll be able to watch Sarah. I don't know whether you watch Sarah on Sewing Street, but some of you need your little dose of Sarah, the other Sarah, all the midweek, so you'll be able to catch up with her. Now, you've got now 9 bits of fabric in there. So I did decide that we don't normally, but I thought it would be best if I did this open so that there was less bulk. Now you could trim it back. You could go to the thing of trimming it back. I've got my fingers underneath on the seam to make sure that it's not buckling. Buckling. See, so I've done that open. We don't normally do our seams open, but this is not really, you're not really making a quilt, are you? Right, I have got a bit of a tuck there, so I'm gonna bring it out and I'm gonna put those pins back in, certainly on those bottom ones, because they're very close to the edge. There we go. So yeah, so there we have the blades. Even just the blades make me happy. So we are going to take this down, and you can see I've pinned it. Where are we? Yeah, I've pinned it all to. This is why it was hung up behind me. It's so big, but it's beautiful. Look at it. It's like a peacock. You could do a peacock. See where I think I need to go back in here and have another look at whether I've got some of my seams. Towards the end, I do tend to kick out. So I need to be aware of that and keep an eye on it. And I think probably around here, I've probably kicked out. So that is not a 1/4 inch seam. Right, so if I unpick some of this, unpin some of this, hopefully I can, oh, twaddle. That is so like me. I've gone and done them the wrong way round. So I'm going to have to unpick them. Right, unpick them. So, talk to me. Talk to me. This is so like me. You think that you've got it, and I bet one of you said, no, you've put it the wrong way round. So, workshops. Let's talk about workshops while I'm doing this. We've got another Tuffet going. I've already got people booked onto that. We've got another quilted jacket course running, and we've already got people booked onto that. We've got all squared up. I think there's a duffel bag, which I need to revisit doing a duffel bag, because my husband's, I made a yoga bag. So I wonder whether it's the same type of, I need Anne for this really. There we go. Put the little ball on the bottom, so I know it's not going to rip the fabric. She says it's got to go right because I haven't got any more of this fabric. This is just so typical. Okay. This is why you should always do something all in one go. Right, there we go. Where's the best press? Best press. Best way to do it. Stick some best press down. It relaxes the fabric. So, okay, that's one. Well, at least it's not a big seam that you've got to take out. There we go. Best press that as well. There we go. Oh, you're away. Oh, that's a shame. Well, once the course is run, you should be able to buy the pattern, Helen. I know it's not the same not doing it as a course, but But yeah, it's always nice to sit and do it with other people. Right. We want, no, we don't. We want that one there and that one there. So we're going to do it like that on that side. Did I work that out right? And then changed it when I went to sew? I don't know. Do you? So there we go. Let's try this again, shall we? So just keep adjusting as you're going if you're going to be lazy like me. I suppose from doing it from the bottom, at least I know one of my seams is not going to kick out. Okay, it says that I have something wrong with my upper thread, but it looks all right. No, it's fine. Look, it's okay. What's wrong with it? It's come undone here. Where should that go? Will that make you happier? No. Okay. The machine was having a funny five. Right. Okay. So let's try this again, shall we? And now there's no thread. Oh. Right. I don't know what it's done. I think it came unthreaded, and I've just sewn a whole thing of it being unthreaded. But it didn't tell me it was unthreaded until right at the end. Machines, you can go off machines, can't you? So we're going to try that again. I'll make sure it's on the right side. Yes. Well, at least I've got a line to follow now. Do you know, I think my 1 o'clocks wouldn't take half so long if I didn't get it all mismatched. So there you go. She'll be brilliant on Sewing Street, Anne. She'll be amazing. You're going to learn so much. Another bobbin's not working. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Another bobbin's come undone. I'm done. So, should we try this way? I will talk you through the rest of it because it doesn't want to play with me. I don't think it likes me. Right, so these would be perfectly sewn together and you would attach them to these here. Okay. So with the seam allowance and everything, this would all fit in. Now, as you can see, this is going to be too big. Even with the seam allowances, I think it's going to struggle to, oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. So that would be there. This might just pull it all together. Okay. Now, the bit underneath, I cut a 27.5-inch piece of fabric and a 27.5-inch piece of wadding. But Sarah did say if I'd have done it with another piece of fabric on here, so that it was fabric, at the moment when I sew it, then there's going to be some of the wadding showing. So I'm going to actually take this off and redo it because I think she's right. It will give a better finish, totally better finish. So this would be on here. Now, where's my bit of fabric? So I ran out of this fabric, so I found one that's not too bad. It's a bit wrinkled at the moment, but I don't want to iron it because this is iron-offable circle. So what we're going to do is because you're not going to see this bit, okay, I'm going to sew on that line, trim it out, and then put a slit in here and then turn it out, okay, because you're not going to see it. It's going to be on the inside. I can't sew it, can I? So you would sew this circle, and that then is going to fit in here. I do think that Sarah's machine really doesn't like me, because this would fit on the, it'd sit on the top, but and then you would just applique it to the top, okay, like that. I will show you when it's done, because I will finish this. This gives me joy. It really does give me joy. So that would sit along there. So that covers that raw edge there. Once you sew it, if you have a look at the back of this bit here will be behind. Now, I think, me personally, I don't want to put a line. I don't want to put a line across here. All of these will be sewn down, but you will have this will still be open. I would slip stitch that then, you know, just like you would with binding. I would slip stitch that around so that it holds it in, and you're not going to see any of the raw edges then. In fact, I might not even put the other bit of fabric. If I'm going to slip stitch it, that could work. But I would shadow quilt down these bits along here. And I would probably do it before I put this on, because this is just going to go on the top, and all your quilting is going to go through to here anyway. Yeah, I'd probably do that. So there you have stacked Dresdens. There is so much that you could do with these. I mean, peacock on a, actually on a quilt. Appliqued straight onto the quilt with a peacock's head here. That would work so beautifully. I mean, you can carry on and make more and more. You could stack so many Dresdens up there. I mean, you look at how much of the how much of this that we didn't use. Think how big it would be. I mean, you still only need 40 of these to make your circle. You just would have a bigger circle, so you could just keep stacking your Dresdens. So there we go. One beautiful project, slightly mismanaged, but yeah, it's 40 blades made and connected, right, Sarah? Yes, absolutely. So done before adding the center. Yes, it's just beautiful. Thanks, Eileen. Yeah, the bobbin's gone. The top thread unthreaded first off, Anne, and now the bobbin's gone. So yeah, I'm done. You know me. I can fix one problem, but you know, 3 problems one after the other. I'm done. I've given you an idea. Run with it. You go show me how that's done. So not you, Anne, all of you get into your sewing rooms and show me how it's done. Right. Okay. So Sarah's on Sewing Street tomorrow. I will see you on Sunday. Sarah, Shan and I are going sip and sculpting on Saturday. I've got quite a few things coming up. I've booked Miss Saigon for me and my daughter to go and see it, and I've just booked, you know, the Irish lady that comes and does the reels where she's in a bikini and she talks about how we should be okay with our bodies, and the fat shaming is no longer viable and stuff. Well, we've booked to go and see her as well, just me and Meg. And what else have I got coming out? I got Barcelona coming up. So I got a good year. It's shaping up to be a really good year. So I will see you Sunday, and have a wonderful day, and enjoy the weekend, even if you don't join us. So get yourself in the sewing room, show me how that's done. Start at the beginning of the thing, because I did it right at the beginning. See ya.